Let's go. Oops. Faisons une pause.
We still have a long way to go, so you'll need to hang in there for a while longer. This is not a good place to rest anyway.
Okay. But don't you feel hot too, Cyno?
Of course, but I'm accustomed to these conditions.
Care to share any tips? Paimon's about to melt away.
Just try to stay focused. Use your willpower to support your mind. The moment you start to give in is when you'll feel more tired. Take one step after another. Don't let your mind perceive your body's limitations. We must get somewhere safe before we can relax.
Okay, if you say so. But where would be a more safe place to rest? Paimon thinks this is a perfectly safe place to stop. Just look around, it's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles around. Whoa! Where did these scorpions come from?
Watch out. Something's not right about them.
Everyone hold hands.
Est-ce que vous aimez le baron Lapinou? Allez. Oh, ils ont même pas donné de bouffe.
Well, Paimon really didn't expect to see those here.
Those weren't just normal scorpions. See? There are marked numbers on their pincers. They were raised by someone.
Donc ça veut dire que...
Someone doesn't want us to show up at the auction. These scorpions were sent to keep us away. We are surrounded by desert as far as the eye can see. If we were killed out here, nobody would ever know.
This place is super dangerous. Good thing we didn't let our guard down.
Something's not right. There are no roads in the desert, so how could they know where we are? Stay still.
Ah.
Here's the answer. They must have planted this on you.
Huh? What is it?
A miniature tracking device made by the Ksharawar. They can use this to discern your approximate location. But this device wasn't licensed for mass production. Where did they get it? Could someone from the Ksharawar also be involved? But that doesn't seem right.
Whoa! Paimon never knew that kind of thing even existed! Why would it be on her?
They probably planted it on the Traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier.
J'avais même pas remarqué.
It was a frantic fight. It's only natural you didn't notice the device.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, Cyno. Now let's get rid of it.
No. Hold on to it for now. It might still be useful for us. Let's keep heading to the auction. It would be dangerous to linger here any longer.
Ah.
They're back again! How many of them are there?
Bet you can't keep...
Yeah!
Ah. On va encore se prendre beaucoup d'embuscades comme ça. La nuit est en train de tomber. On va pas mettre le jour, c'est plutôt sympa. Tiens, regardez ça.
Weird. Is this where the auction is?
Mais il n'y a personne.
Yeah, not a single soul. Maybe they're on break right now or something.
We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. They shouldn't have been able to give any warning of our arrival. But even so, they still knew we were coming. Someone here must have been watching the tracker, and warned everyone to clear out.
Aw, what should we do now?
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules so quickly. There might still be something left for us to find.
Alright, let's take a good look around the area.
Bon. Examinons. On constate une connaissance de base qui semble n'avoir rien à voir avec la cour de la désolation. Une grande quantité de concentration de connaissances a été empilée ici, suffisamment pour gagner une grande quantité importante de mora au prix du marché. Les empreintes éparpillées n'ont pas été complètement effacées par le vent et le sable, mais il est impossible de deviner la direction dans laquelle les marchands sont partis. La baie de sang boit tranquillement de l'eau et ne semble pas du tout affectée. Ah, évidemment.
Did you find anything?
No, nothing in particular.
Tous ces concentrés de connaissances sont ordinaires.
It's possible there weren't many knowledge capsules containing info about the Court of Desolation, so they carried those off. But don't worry. I have another idea. You two start heading back the way we came. I will remain hidden here. Come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up by then.
Ah, je comprends pourquoi vous voulez que je garde le localisateur.
They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all their goods. They won't just leave them here. Once they think we've left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make sure the tracker goes far enough from here to make them assume that it's safe to come back.
Oh, Paimon gets it. We'll lure them out because they'll think we've left. Okay, we'll start heading away and leave this place to you.
Yes, and don't worry. If they dare to return, I'll make sure they stay.
C'était le lieu de la vente aux enchères avec le localisateur. Et on veut aller où? Jusqu'au village d'Haru. Ah, là, on peut monter, je crois. Hop. Toute cette zone. Nous n'avons pas encore exploré. Si ça se passe bien, on va pouvoir... On sera pas très loin d'explorer cette zone lorsqu'on aura terminé cette version. On devrait pouvoir faire facilement le royaume d'Ashavan, voir Vanarana et le Vanarana d'antan, terminé par les champs de Visuda. Ça pourrait être plutôt bien.
Ugh, so tired. We've probably gone far enough now, right?
Avançons encore un peu.
Further? But Paimon can't go another step. How about we rest here for a while?
C'est assez non loin de là pour reposer un moment.
It's probably about time for us to head back to the auction. Let's go. Maybe Cyno's finally found some leads.
On pourrait laisser le localisateur ici. Quoique, Gardons-le plutôt. C'est quand même une potentielle preuve de quelque chose. Et visiblement, des gens inattendus sont liés à cette affaire. Potentiellement. Ah oui, ok, je vois pourquoi il y avait un TP pour monter. Ah bah il y a un pauvre gars qui s'est fait coincer.
Oh, looks like Cyno caught someone. So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't ya? All right, tell Paimon everything you know.
Était suffisamment important.
I didn't act immediately when he showed up. Rather, I'd laid low and observed for a while instead. He is not the primary instigator, but he is most likely one of the more important dealers here. Am I right?
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Cyno. If I had any idea you were still around, I wouldn't have gotten so greedy.
Huh? Greedy? What do you mean by that?
Once everyone knew you were coming, all the canned knowledge dealers abandoned their goods and fled at once. Obviously, there wasn't time to pack up everything. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know, free merchandise is good business, but I suppose there's no use explaining it now.
You must know who's manufacturing and selling the canned knowledge, correct? Will you tell us willingly? Or do I need to make you talk?
No, I'll talk. But before that, perhaps we can take the conversation elsewhere? If we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you. That would put both me and my family in danger.
All right. Where do you suggest we go?
How about my home in Aru village? It should be safe there.
Fine. Let's head out. You can throw away the tracker now, traveler.
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us.
Come on now. Do you really think I'd try to pull anything under Cyno's watch? Seriously, what can I even do?
Donc là, on doit aller au village d'Aru, déjà direct. Ouais. Autant nous TP directement là-bas. À moins qu'il y ait une nouvelle quête qui nous attend là-bas aussi. Là, en parlant de nouvelle quête, je pense que la quête de gars de fontaine, ça doit peut-être être un petit tease pour la suite. Vu que prétendument... Bon, je vais jamais dire c'est sûr. Évidemment, nous allons avoir la 4.0 pour la prochaine version.
Dad, you're back. Oh, we have guests? Hi there.
This is my daughter, Simin. She can be a little shy of strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
Ah, c'est le concentré connaissances qu'on va briller derrière.
Everyone knows Cyno in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Cyno, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, I assumed you had decided to just go back empty-handed. But even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can. You should abandon this investigation.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves dozens, if not hundreds of people. Massive profits have brought everyone together in this business. Everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight, even for you, Cyno. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything, you yourself might even feel remorse. Why are you so bent on putting us out of business?
Everyone has their own reasons for what they do. I don't have to explain mine.
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests. Thank you.
Don't mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yes, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits? That sure doesn't seem to be the case for you.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. My daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to faint and prove to be a life-threatening risk. That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. She has to take lots of medicine, and it doesn't come cheap. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit. But the Mora was still nowhere near enough. I could only watch my daughter's health deteriorate day by day. Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to really make a profit.
Selling canned knowledge.
That's right. With all the Mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. Nothing made me happier than seeing her get better. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you, but to us, it's a means of survival. I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please, stay out of this, Cyno. Give us a way to survive.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter will...
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. Since you insist on continuing the investigation, you should have a look around the back of my home. You'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them.
Ça va à l'arrière de la maison de Cyno.
Whoa! Look at all of this!
Yes, all neatly packed away and organized in boxes. To think that this is only one dealer's worth. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Could the academia have a hand in this? But such a volume of goods wouldn't be able to slip through inspection.
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the Court of Desolation.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this?
J'ai jamais vu ces symboles. Ça vous dit quelque chose?
Yes. It's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. But how they could ship so much canned knowledge out of the academia was still a mystery. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can leave the academia without undergoing a second inspection. No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that a mantra is behind this.
Peut-être un
Even I
malentendu.
find it hard to believe.
C'est peut-être un malentendu.
Could I ask you for a favor, Traveler? Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation originated from research files stored within the academia. If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these files. But, considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at the academia now, it will only draw unnecessary attention. You'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil, and he'll take you there.
Sure thing. Leave it to us.
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, it's obvious that they also have power outside of it. We can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations. You can come find me anytime if you uncover more info.
Bon. C'est sur l'introduction de Cyno.
If you start sniffing around the academia, it won't be long before people catch on to you. And once word gets out, they'll soon be after my daughter and I.
Don't worry. I'll find them before things escalate that far. But if you still feel uneasy, then why don't you tell me about anyone else you know who was involved? The more information I have, the safer you will be.
All right.
Ouais, donc on avait bien vu, hein, c'était effectivement ce qu'on voyait. Et la petite?
I just want to get better. I don't want to be stuck at home by myself anymore.
Oh. Bon, allons voir Nabil. S'il n'est pas un niveau élevé lui-même aussi. Ah, les pourris Biruni. Non, on y revient. On y revient. Non. Putain, faut qu'on le fasse. Putain, est-ce qu'on va aller... Est-ce que la semaine prochaine, on va devoir aller à l'académie ou pas? C'est la grande question. Putain, en plus, il y a plus que 10 jours pour... Putain, c'est vrai qu'on est déjà le 5. Bon, il faut qu'on fasse le... Il faut qu'on s'occupe des étoiles et des primos, des profondeurs spiralées. Ah. Si on ne s'en occupe pas, ils vont partir. Et la semaine prochaine, on a d'autres plans. Ouais, il faut qu'on s'en occupe. Aïe, aïe, aïe.
Hello, we meet again. Have you managed to find Cyno? If so, how's he doing?
On dirait la lettre de Cyno à Nabil.
I read the letter and must admit that I hadn't expected things to be so serious. Sorry. Had I known it would be so dangerous, I never would have gotten you two involved.
It's alright. We wanted to help Cyno too.
I can tell that he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Everything there is essentially about dangerous research that's forbidden by the academia. Even I don't usually have authorization to enter, but with this letter from Cyno, it shouldn't be a problem.
Les recherches interdites.
That's right. Granted, the academia is very supportive when it comes to research. They encourage scholars to conduct all kinds of studies. However, some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the Matra have to step in and put a stop to them. Normally, after some particular research becomes prohibited, the majority of the related files will be destroyed. But some information may be retained as a record to warn later researchers. Such information is kept in the restricted repository, which is heavily guarded. follow me. I'll show you. Hopefully, we'll find the answers that Cyno is looking for.
The restricted repository. Sounds kinda dangerous. We'd better keep an eye out.
Ah, les recherches dangereuses. Par exemple, sur les formes de vie artificielles. On évite les pourris birounis là-bas. Tiens. Nabil informe l'archiviste de votre venue.
Okay, I understand. Since Cyno is vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding the Court of Desolation. Ask me if you have any questions. But I'd suggest avoiding any other research files. Sometimes the less you know, the better.
Ok. Le mécanisme de la porte secrète s'ouvre dans le mur. Secrète. C'est mystérieux. J'ai l'impression que le jeu il est en train de crever là. Bon, profitons-en pour allumer la lumière. La lumière fut. Hop. Ah bah voilà. Là ça a l'air déjà de charger beaucoup mieux.
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me.
Connaissez-vous aussi Cyno ou Taiba?
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Cyno happens to be one of them. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him. And that goes for anyone he trusts as well. The files are over there. Just make it quick.
Par contre, est-ce que Nabil est digne de confiance?
We have an alarm set behind the bookshelf for security purposes. Be careful not to bump it when you're taking out the files.
On va voir. Document, c'est l'écho de la désolation. Manuel d'interprétation des textes secrets. Elle redate le récit d'un chercheur de la Ravata qu'on a amené à la prison pour avoir déchiffré des documents interdits. Il est passé où, Nabil? Ouais, c'est juste pour s'asseoir. Donner recherche sur les formes de vie mécaniques. Elle relate le récit d'un chercheur du Spantamat qui a été expulsé de l'académie pour avoir étudié les formes de vie mécaniques. Ah, c'est pas... ça doit être... comment il s'appelait Abo quelque chose. Malgré les interdictions répétées, les recherches sur la Cour de la Désolation au cours des dernières décennies ont sans cesse augmenté. Les chercheurs qui étudient l'histoire de la Cour de la Désolation passent principalement par 3 phases. Découverte, enquête et fanatisme. La première phase de recherche est la phase de découverte, relativement basique, qui cause peu ou pas de dommages. Les résultats de la recherche de la découverte montreront que des trésors liés à la vie et à la mort peuvent être cachés dans la Cour de la Désolation. C'est là que la rumeur de ramener les morts à la vie peut commencer. La phase initiale est suivie d'une phase d'enquête prolongée. Toute la documentation concernant l'emplacement de la Cour de la Désolation est au mieux vague. La séquence d'instructeurs elle-même n'a jamais été découverte. De nombreux chercheurs épuisent leurs ressources en fouillant le désert pour ne trouver que quelques tablettes de pierre portant les mots « Entrée de la Cour de la Désolation se fait au prix de la vie ». Des interprétations différentes de cette ligne ont rapidement émergé. Certains pensent que le prix de la vie est la clé pour entrer à la Cour de la Désolation, tandis que d'autres affirment que c'est une exigence pour que la Cour apparaisse. Puisque la Cour de la Désolation n'a jamais été découverte, ce dernier point est vu et progressivement devenu plus courant. En conséquence, de nombreux chercheurs sont devenus fous en peu de temps. Dépassés par leur fervent désir de faire apparaître la Cour de la Désolation, ils tentèrent de sacrifier leur vie. Les recherches pertinentes sont devenues de plus en plus dangereuses, ont finalement été interdites. Et même après cela, de nombreux chercheurs de l'Académie ont secrètement poursuivi leurs recherches. Ce n'est que lorsque 7 chercheurs, dont Murtada Radkani, étaient arrêtés que les recherches sur la Cour de la désolution sont entrées à nouveau dans une période de stagnation. Murtada Radkani.
Whoa, there's a lot to read here. Have you found anything yet?
Murtada Radkani.
It reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Radkani. But you're not far off. Murtada Radkani was Taj's only son.
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me. I bet even Cyno didn't know about it.
Pouvons-nous rencontrer Murtada?
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long after he went to prison. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. Every Matra knows him. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He is a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. His reputation goes back a long way now. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used to practice together when they weren't out on a mission.
Ah, right. I heard Cyno mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer to an administrative position. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Murtada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Murtada was born. So when Murtada came to study at the Academia, everyone had high expectations of him. He had to face a lot of pressure. Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Murtada was caught studying the Court of Desolation, which is in Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. He begged for leniency, but Taj wouldn't agree. Shortly after, Murtada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. By the time Taj arrived at the scene, it was already too late. He never had a last chance to see his son. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move to administrative work.
I had no idea that happened. That must be really hard for Taj. I've never heard him mention that to anyone.
That's awful. Paimon feels terrible now. Are you okay, traveler?
Taj a accédé aux recherches de Murtada.
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Impossible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, he does have a big reputation and has access to such research. But this is Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against regulations. Never.
Mais il a subi un gros coup dur quand même.
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the Academia, then Taj is indeed a suspect. Because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research, since the 7 original researchers were put behind bars. It's hard enough just trying to make sense of these files. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the Academia without anyone ever noticing.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life and death, or even bring the dead back to life, right? So maybe Taj is trying to bring Murtada back. Though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. It's the job of the Matra to find the truth and track down criminals. Do you have any questions? If not, It'd be best if you would leave now.
Paimon's kinda confused. What should we do from here?
Allons nous renseigner ailleurs.
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspected that the canned knowledge was coming from within the academia, right? There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we could try asking people around the gate of the academia and see what we can find. Don't worry, Tosh. I won't let your reputation be tarnished.
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Ah On va encore devoir se promener près des pourris Biruni. Ouais. Bon.
Do you have any other questions?
Non. Visiblement, on n'a pas le droit de lui poser des questions. Forme de vie mécanique. Je me souviens plus comment il s'appelle le chercheur. Dans la quête qu'on a fait la semaine dernière. Pas grave. Aïe, j'ai la tapis de souris qui est en train de rendre l'âme là. Puis il y a des morceaux. Ah mince. Bon. J'espère que les pourris Biruni ne vont pas nous sauter à la gueule. Non, ils sont là. Attendez. C'est bon, ça a l'air d'être dehors. Hop. Bonjour monsieur.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else?
Ok, c'est en haut là. Bonjour monsieur Badr.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh. Well, yes, but isn't that pretty normal? The academia consumes so many resources each day. Everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials, even equipment for experiments. It's normal for goods to be coming in and out.
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a Matra seal. Have you seen any like that?
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not. Maybe you should ask someone else.
Donne des informations, regarde. Lui là. Payam. Bonjour Payam.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh? Why do you ask?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened.
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. Dozen of large boxes each time, if not more. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. But he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before.
And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection?
Well, the boxes were stamped with the Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I?
impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would ever...
Calmez-vous.
No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must be trying to frame him. Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
Nabil est parti en courant sans dire un mot. Il revient avec un homme.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it." Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he had also changed into Eremite attire. But Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try visiting his home. He lives just on the outskirts of Sumeru City.
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really be the one making all the canned knowledge?
No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would...
Rendons-nous chez Taj.
Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Ah. Chercher les indices de la maison de Taj. Et c'est où 142 mètres.